Welcome to an insightful Animized video. Today I'm with Mikolaj. He's going to discuss with us one of our amazing tools he's been working on called Sunstat. So Mikolaj, can you tell us what Sunstat does?
Sure, Alex. So the purpose of Sunstat is very simply to find average historical irradiance data at a particular location. So let's say that I have a house, I want to install some solar, and I want to know how much light I'm going to get so I can estimate the size. Sunstat will tell you the average irradiance on that location for a particular time and place.
Excellent. I remember when you first came to our company a few years ago, this was one of the projects that you worked on, and you were really good at it, and we did a great job. What we did was we got the data from the Bureau of Meteorology, which was in like 1 hour intervals with values for all the different latitudes and longitudes throughout Australia to an accuracy of 5 kilometers. And what we tried to do was like get that average solar irradiance for that exact location for each hour of a particular month going throughout time back to 1990. And we like ended up coming up with a good solution. And then just at the start of when the corona pandemic started, I remembered we had one day where I was like, Mikolaj, just spend today to work on any project that you want to do. Why did you come back to this one?
So I think I agree with you that we did a pretty good job the last time around, but I always felt that there was some room for improvement.
Yes.
I felt that we had achieved the best performance we could get with the data in the form that it was at.
Yes.
Right? But I felt that with some small tweaking of the structure of the BOM data, we could get much better performance.
Excellent. Yeah, I was really interested when you came to me with this idea because I remember looking through like different kind of like guides and forums of how to work with CSV files, and it was saying like the way that we did it of like finding a particular entry in those CSV files was the best way that we could do it, like counting how many new line characters and how many delimiters there were to find that data point. But what was the particular thing that you had the insight to realize of how we could make this program better?
Yeah, so the thing I noticed is that our data was arranged into rows and columns.
Yes.
And we knew exactly which position we wanted in that row and column structure.
Yeah.
But the problem was that because of the shape of the data, essentially each entry and each data point was of a different size. So as you said, if you want to find the 10th row, you have to find 10 new line characters.
Yes.
You don't know where those are. So essentially you have to search through the entire file, row by row. And when you have thousands of files and terabytes of data, that takes a really long time.
Yes.
So I thought to myself, look, if we know the exact row and column, we should be able to just go there, right?
Yes.
So, and the only way to do that is if we knew the exact position of every row and column. And the other way to do that is to essentially index the data, reformat it so that the structure of the data is consistent throughout. And in that way, with the simpler formula, you can calculate exactly where everything is.
Yes.
Instantly.
Instantly. Fantastic.
Yeah.
Well, what we've done, like, when we used to run the program, it took us up to 5 hours to find the average for a single location.
Yeah, that was because we had 2 terabytes of data.
Yeah.
And even though searching through the data, an individual file is quite quick.
Yes.
Once you compound that to 20 years
Yes.
of data, it takes a really long time.
And what time did you get it down to?
So there's several steps.
Yes.
But the final result was in about 2 minutes.
Excellent. So this program that originally took 5 hours to run, you got it down to 2 minutes.
Yes.
Yeah, that's amazing. What other steps did you take along the way to make it go faster?
So in essence, there were 3 different components. The first step was reformatting the data.
Yes.
And once it was reformatted, writing a new algorithm to search through. Reformatting the data involved first going through and making every single data point the same number of bytes. So I searched through the data to find the largest numbers, which were all in the realm of thousands. So I reformatted every single data point to be 4 bytes long.
Yes.
And I used GPU programming to do that as efficiently as possible, working with multiple files at the same time.
Yeah.
Once that was complete, I had I condensed the CSV files
Yeah.
from individual hours
Yes.
to months. So instead of working with something in the order of 3,000 files per year, it goes down to 12. And that really saves on the input-output operations that the program has to complete.
Yes.
But what it does mean is that you can no longer use conventional file opening techniques because the files are too large to copy into memory. So what you have to do is something called memory mapping, where you take a small sliver of the file and only access that bit. And that is much quicker than opening the files conventionally.
Yes.
So once the files are reformatted and all that's done, all you have to do is with a simple formula, you can say, okay, I want the 50th row, the 100th column.
Yes.
You can calculate that and instantly go there.
Excellent.
And then take the next slice of data from that file, which you can also calculate what that is.
Yeah.
Take that and average everything out.
Yes.
And get however many hundredfold speed increase.
Yeah, excellent. One of the things that I love about what you've done with this project and the speed increases gained from it is that it opens up so many new possibilities of how we can use this type of satellite data to model real world scenarios and like figure out like all different kinds of things, like of how to design like energy systems or like even uses that we could implement into agriculture or other types of sciences. Yeah, and just like I know like in the past when we've done like optimization processes, we've like done kind of like off averages, but like this new way of like programming that you've introduced to our company, it's going to allow us to do like even work at an even more granular level and like just create like even more accurate models.
Yeah, because right now all we're doing is using this technique to find averages. But
Yeah.
really what we have is just a really fast way to access the data.
Yes.
And now all that remains is to find new ways to use the data. Right?
Yeah, that's a really good way of describing it.
It all just comes down to the fact that the more you understand what you're working with,
Yes.
and at the final level, the more you can find ways to optimize and make things better.
Yes, excellent.
Yeah.
Well, Mikolaj, I just want to thank you so much for putting in all the effort that you've put into this project. It's been excellent. And if anybody
My
out
pleasure.
there, oh, thank you, mate. Yeah. And if anyone out there has any data projects where you want someone smart like Mikolaj working on them, or myself, just give us a call at Entermise, and we'll be happy to help you out in any way possible. Thank you. Cool.
Alright, so
Hopefully, I think that was like a really good run through, like the conversation flowed
Yeah,
so
it flowed
easily.
really well.
So it was like